May I now invite the Bishop of Nsukka Diocese, Most Reverend Professor Godfrey Igwebike Onah, to bring his address.
I hope you will understand that I speak from here. My dear friends, it is with gratitude to God and with great joy and recognition of the contribution of the founder and the founding members of the Board of Directors of Mario Institute of Hospitality Management and Entrepreneurship Education, Ogunowere, Reverend Father Cornelius Obe and his group, that I stand here today to formalize or externalize what had been concluded by technical practice between the diocese and one of our priests. It is in recognition of the diversity of our gifts and talents that the Nsukka Diocese accepts with gratitude to God the fruits of many years of patient labor. As I already said during the Mass, what Father Obed did was done with ecclesiastical approval and was done in obedience to ecclesiastical authority. And I underline once again that for a Catholic priest and religious, whatever we do has to be planted in the humus of obedience to constituted authority. Because anything we do in disobedience to the church cannot be pleasing to God, because it is tainted by the mother of all sins, disobedience. And whatever we do in obedience, even in its imperfection, is pleasing to God, because it is colored and perfumed by the mother of all virtues, obedience. It is in that spirit of obedience and hard work and positive thinking that we have now had the fruits we are all reaping today. Not that the fruit is fully mature, but that we have hopes that if we continue in the right direction, more still has to be said about this institute. As Father Obe rightly observed in his address, what began like a joke within the premises of a parish house has now become a nationally recognized tertiary institution and receives some of its students from the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM. And Father said, the director said, this was to reduce the pain, menace of joblessness and anger and frustration of the youths of Nsukka Diocese. But I dare say that the service and hope being offered here go beyond the confines of our diocese. It is open to everybody, and it is already being accessed by many people outside our diocese. Father Obe, rather than sit idly, wring his hands, and blame everybody else, has rallied around a few people who have supported him in making a difference, providing some solution. My Oga in the house, Father Paulino says, He told a story yesterday during the homily at Mass, which he repeats from time to time about the hummingbird. That story is familiar to many of us. The forest was on fire, and all the animals were running and complaining, and the birds were all helplessly watching fire consume their forest. But this little hummingbird, rather than complain, was making trips to the nearby stream with its little beak, would pick up little quantity of water and drop on the flames. Some thought it was senseless what it was doing, but then others felt they could join that bird. And so many other birds joined the hummingbird, and picking up drops of water from the stream and dropping them on the flames, they were gradually able to put out the fire. Just little drops of water collected by many beaks of birds were able to put out that flame. What Father Obe has done is a lot more than the drop of water from the hummingbird. And we thank God for him. We therefore encourage all those who have the opportunity. During my first visit on the occasion of the matriculation of the students here in 2017, I discovered that not one single person from the host community, Ukunowere, was a student in this institute. And I challenged them then to offer 5 scholarships to 2 boys and 3 girls who would gain admission here. And 4 years after that, I'm discovering that not one has taken up that offer. I am not taking back my offer today. Manandaba is no one Judy. Papa and the Wody. And the Hulu were no happy. Unuja Guamu no. The bishops and I just Umuhulo were say somebody she. Is she? Pastor Tare Gapukwa, the Mario Institute. Mogada, when no Mukurum Kwaha. Mekrito ene na ebidolegi. Nchelu no me ma ho egu na agwa mutande ba agwatande emirike. And to our matriculating students, I also want to remind you of what I noticed on that day. That one of the matriculating students who was beginning her first year in the school was a graduate of English in one of our universities. Wow. The reason is, you graduate from our universities and begin to look for a job. And you graduate from Mario Institute and begin to create jobs. Nobody who lives here should be looking for a job, because as you know, paid jobs are no longer available for people who have no senators or governors to plead for them. And besides, how much are you paid in a salaried job in Nigeria today? One man defined a salary as the price another person has put on the worth of all your efforts. Will you accept some other person to be determining how much your efforts are worth? Or will you reap the fruits of your own efforts by employing yourself and creating opportunity for employment for others? That is what this institute does. Please, I repeat, and this is my final point. Youth empowerment is one of the major objectives of education by the church. Integrity, moral rectitude, creativity, and empowerment to be masters of oneself. These are why the church trains her children. And we do this not only in institutions, but also by organizing workshops, conventions, rallies, and conferences. In one of such conventions, we brought young entrepreneurs to talk to our younger people, to give them examples of what they could do to be useful to themselves. One of such people gave the example and told us that in Nsukka area we have so many palm trees. And he told us, informed us, that what we call 1 barrel of oil, crude oil, is just 1 drum of oil. And that time 1 drum of oil was selling for an equivalent of 18,000 naira. At the time that 1 drum of palm oil was selling for 60,000 naira. And he asked, how many of you here have access to crude oil in the Niger Delta? Nobody. How many of you here have access to palm oil in your father's lands? Many. And they reminded also that not just palm oil, palm kernel, brooms, palm frond, everything from the palm tree is money. After speaking, one young man stood up and grabbed the microphone. Many of us here are very talented. As you may empower by giving us some millions, palm oil. I'm saying this because when we talk of youth empowerment, we are not talking about giving you money, but about teaching you how to make your own money. More than that, we can do for you. As we thank God for this day and joyfully accept the responsibility of taking over this school and giving Father Obe the relief of knowing that the burden is no longer only on his shoulders. We have taken note of all the things, or some of the things that could be done for the school to grow. And the Catholic Diocese of Nsukka is not a political association, so we don't make political promises. But God, being on our side, will not let us down. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Wow. We really thank the Father Bishop for that wonderful address.